Foresight Fight devlog number 33. I should probably start saying the name of my game more because I don't do it enough. So I've had a very busy time, as always, working on basically just a few things that each took a substantial amount of time. So last time my scenario editor was pretty much put together. I don't have any custom scenarios at the moment. I'm going to make, oh, by the way, change that's visible right away as I changed the border color of this. There was something I didn't like where the black border was lining up with black text underneath it, and it looked bad, so I just changed this to a gray color that's a little darker than the frame around it. If you look closely, these pixels are lighter than those pixels. Anyway, yeah, so a slight graphical change. Right, and there's a pencil icon here now showing me which scenarios in this list are editable. I like it. Feels good. Okay, so right, I just made a new copy of my test scenario. My cursor defaulted here because I've already gone into the screen during this launch of the application. This is a take two. It often takes me a few takes to get going on these videos. They're tricky. Anyway, yeah, so we're used to seeing this. This is the test scenario that we know and love, or don't love, as the case may be. I am looking forward to not working with this anymore. Maybe today is the day when we'll properly change that. So, a lot of the stuff in here is more or less the same. The thing that kind of took most of my time was, so I have these custom graphics and custom sounds things here. Each, yeah, let's just go ahead and click on this. So this is what my image browser looks like now. It's much better, much more capable. I guess I don't need a scroll bar because this all happens to fit on screen. It can do lots of things. So it shows you the name of the thing you're pointing at. Is that centered? Yeah, I think so. I'll have to compare the centering of this text with this text. Somehow I have a feeling the one on the left is 1 pixel too high, but my eyeballs aren't telling me reliably right now. Anyway, so yeah, I can see the frame. These are all the custom graphics that exist in test scenario. It kind of has a lot. Has a bunch of icons, some portraits and stuff for the champions, a couple of visual effect assets. These are animation frames for the sparkle, animation frames for the bubble, the tiles, all that stuff. Goodies. And I can look at each one of these. I can rename it if I want for some reason. There might be reasons I want to do that. I can replace it with a different file, which I believe would bring up a file dialog. Yeah. No item to match your search. There are no image files on the desktop. My file dialogs now have file filters in them. All files on the desktop. I have 2 zip files for like development tools I haven't really looked at properly. Anyway, yeah, so this will just give me pings because that's the only image format this application recognizes right now. That was another thing that took kind of a bit of time. But anyway, it's done now. It's good. I can export this image. Sure, let's do that. On the desktop, let's put tiledirt.ping. It didn't make a noise. I thought it was supposed to. Okay, tiledirt.ping. There it is. This is a bad image viewer application, but you know, you can control scroll. Sure, why not? Go to settings and change what the scroll wheel does. Can I change the... You can't zoom any more than that. Can I change the filter mode to get it pixelier? I don't know. I don't want this application. Anyway, yeah, so there's tiledirt on my desktop. I can export the image. Yeah, so let's not gloss over that. I can export an image now, and that is actually more significant than you might think. So if you might recall, I have gone over this a few times, but let's review. The way that this list of graphics is stored consists of 2 files. Well, it did. Okay, there's going to be a slight change to this, but as far as you've ever known, as far as I've ever explained, it has consisted of 2 files. This one here, which is, oh, these numbers, I didn't change these. These are supposed to be pixel integers. It's a minor change, but it's important because this is limited precision, and I don't like that. Okay, but that's an internal change, completely invisible to anyone except me. But it's important to me. Anyway, yeah, so this lists, this is where the names come from. So like swish/diagonal is this thing, and it exists at these coordinates within the second file, which is this image. Let's open this with a real image editor. This one. Sometimes when I open this application, it gives me this huge startup window. Sometimes it gives me one that's at half that size, and I don't know what decides that. This application has problems, but it's about the best I have right now. Anyway, yeah, so this is one single image file that is 256 by 256 and contains all of these images together. It's also pre-multiplied alpha, so if you look closely, let me add a, if I were to add a white background, I want the background color here. So white background layer, it looks like these have dark fringes around them. Yeah, so this is file is stored in pre-multiplied alpha. I might at some point actually, because it's more convenient for OpenGL, store this upside down, so pixels run from bottom to top. So everything here might be upside down at some point in the future. So yeah, this is one image file. The code in here, so of course my rendering code interprets those coordinates as slices of this image and draws this region whenever I need to draw swish/diagonal, or you know, portrait giant, or icon fire resist down, or tile sand. Each one has its own set of coordinates, etc. I'm using that same set of data to slice up the ping, unpre-multiply it, because that's a thing I can do. It's not particularly lossy. It's at least repeatable without ongoing image degradation. Basically, like, the loss of precision happens just once and never again, and it's nothing that's a problem. Anyway, so I slice that up. I export a new ping file with just that slice, non-pre-multiplied, so that if you open it in an image editor, it'll just look like normal here. So like let's export this one specifically. Swish/diagonal image files desktop. Tool options, you're in the way. You open with this application. So this one has the correctly white fringe on it. If I make a white background, it's actually just all white. You can't see it at all. Anyway, so that's export, which is nice and all. I also have import. Let's say that I took this swish/diagonal and just drew a big ugly black line through it. There we go. Swish/diagonal vandalized. There we go. Yeah, let's have some fun with this. This will be silly. All right, so I'm going to import swish/diagonal vandalized. There we go. Oh no, it almost worked. Okay, so that's invisible right now. I'll bet if I save the scenario, that will have fixed itself. Yes, it did. Okay, so I just have to save the scenario to... What happened to my alpha? Uh-oh, I have a couple of problems here. I think maybe I don't pre-multiply again on intake. That's the problem. Okay, so we got two bugs here. This code is all very newish. Yeah, so I lost the... I need to re-pre-multiply on import. I unpre-multiply on export, but I forgot to do it the other way around. Fair enough. Yeah, so this is kind of a first real test run of this. Okay, cool. So I imported a new custom graphic. I'm going to make it so that when an imp attacks, it'll use that weird vandalized one. Okay, so /swish/diagonal. I'm going to make a copy of you. /weird. Swish/diagonal vandalized. Whoa, that repositioned itself, which I guess is fine, because this window got... Oh no, my... Oh geez. All sorts of stuff is going on. My pop-up tail is in the wrong place. I think I know why that is. But why is it there and not, like, up here? Okay, got some fun stuff going on. It's in the right place over here. Also, so this is showing me only 3 entries from the atlas. If I delete this little filter right here, where I can edit the text, I can get the full list. And, you know, if I wanted a different graphic other than the suggested ones, I could do that. Or I can reset the filter and just have those. Yeah, so I can type whatever I want, like swish. So that gives me also any icons that involve the word swish. So yeah, I have filtering for these. It gives me a sensible default for the things where the default is sensible. And yeah, I can do stuff like this. Right, yeah, sure, let's... I don't have to save these changes, but I'm going to. So if I go in here and... oh, interesting. I deleted this scenario, but my progress stayed. I should delete progress along with scenario. Okay, that's a note for me. That should not stay around if I delete and recreate a thing. All right, so... oops, I forgot to do a part of this. I just have to do this exercise, okay? It's actually not going to work the way I want it to. You know what? I'm going to force it to work the way I want it to. Here you go. Attack copy. This one will be identical, except it uses /weird. Where's my /weird? There it is, way down there. Okay, well, it doesn't have to be way down there. I can park it alongside the other one. It was a little hard to see what I was doing because this was covering a lot of that. I want to force this to the side. I can do that. Just don't allow it to pop up or down. That's fine. Okay, /weird goes next to /. All right, so there's an attack copy and champions. Imp, your first ability is... Oh, okay, so I'm gonna... I can't replace an ability without doing that. I guess that's fine. I think the action of deleting that, though, will have removed... No, it's fine. It stayed. Attack copy. Okay, anyway, so did that have the effect that I wanted it to? This is all silly and unnecessary. All right, so are you two punching each other? You're not. Because I had some stale data here. All right, so warrior attacks. Okay, that's not what I expected. Imp attacks. Well, got another bug there. If I save the scenario, I suspect it will fix itself once again. I can explain why these things are behaving the way they are, kind of. At least partially. That's still wrong. Interesting. If I select a different scenario, like this one, let's see how this normally looks. Oh dear. What has happened? If I quit the game and restart, does this fix itself? Oh, this is fun. This is not what I expected. There's a little audio pop there. I didn't like that. So it fixed this when I restarted. It actually managed to mess up textures here, which is fascinating. Okay, so will this do what I wanted it to do? No, it's still doing that. Huh! Okay. Okay, well, I guess I can't demonstrate that. See, one of those was supposed to do the normal slash, and the other one was supposed to do the one with the black line through it. But I guess that's not working right now. So what do my custom graphics look like right now? They look fine. But somehow that's not being accessed correctly by that visual effect. Why is that? You know, that's a bug I actually don't understand. Will I be able to figure it out? So it's obviously just looking up the wrong region of the atlas. You know, instead of drawing this rectangle. Okay, what does it look like? It looks like a grid of icons. Can I identify which grid of icons? I definitely saw trash can. I see map icons. Ah, I know what's wrong. It's not that it's doing the wrong region of the atlas, it's that it's doing the wrong atlas. There is no trash can in here. There are no map icons. The map icons are a giveaway because those are part of the base icons atlas. Yeah, so this right here, here's the region that's being drawn. Where's that trash can? Trash can, check it out. Map icons, check it out. Okay, let's fix this bug. This will be fun. Is this becoming a tradition now? Gotta fix a bug every time I do this. Okay, so visual effect. Is this swish? Yes, swish / diagonal. So what is wrong with the way you look up your texture? Texture atlas, look up texture atlas. Texture atlas equals base icon atlas. If scenario atlas is not null and scenario atlas has key, that should be true. Texture atlas equals scenario atlas. That's for horizontal. Does it do it correctly the same way for diagonal? Yes. Okay, so... Oh, but... Here we go, here's the problem. It's the texture index. That's what it is. So while I'm looking up the texture atlas, what I'm not doing is telling OpenGL in my vertex attributes which texture I'm actually looking at. I'm just saying texture number 0. Now, how do I normally do this? Let's see, I would want... No, it does it. Vertex.texture index equals 1, but that's incorrect. I'm just assuming it's number 1. Okay, so there's a way to do this. How is it exactly? I forget. Okay, so we're getting into like the guts of my rendering system, which is fine. We can do that. That's fun. So technical details here. I have a renderer written here in my GL graphics library, which, let's not look at the renderer code because it's big and complicated and I wouldn't immediately understand it even though I wrote it. Let's just look at texture atlas. Renderer looks at vertices submitted to the GPU, and one of the attributes that comes along with each vertex is a texture index. So I'm doing multi-texturing such that at any time in runtime I have this loaded in one texture unit and the other image, the base icon atlas, in another texture unit, and my fragment shader looks up the appropriate texture in all the samplers that are loaded when it's drawing each element, because I submit all the UI geometry in one single GL draw elements call. If you don't know OpenGL, that was probably a bunch of gibberish, but don't worry about it. If you do know OpenGL, hopefully you understood what I said. Texture atlas, get vertices. Get vertices internal. Where do you assign the texture index? Get vertices, right texture index. This is a macro. Texture index equals texture atlas, get texture index for vertex IO. Okay, so I just want this function call instead of a constant. Okay, so if you're using the scenario atlas, okay, so this is, you just want this regardless. Vertex.texture index equals texture atlas, get texture index for vertex IO. Here's my vertex IO, that's a struct where I do all of my, pack all of my, shuffle the data around for submitting to the GPU. It's not the most efficient thing, but it's enough for this simple game that doesn't do too much GPU bandwidth. Self in this case is a texture atlas, so it's this texture atlas. Okay, so I just need this line here instead of this one. Yeah, so I had hard-coded texture indexes when that was not appropriate. Do the other visual effects do the same thing, or is that the only one? So that would be visual effect shine. Let's just look at texture index. This does not do texture index at all? Because this just calls texture atlas get vertices. It doesn't do its own vertex transformation. This one's much more complicated because it has to slice up the quad that it's drawing to like do the diagonal or horizontal effect or the spiral or whatever it does. So shine is a lot simpler than swish, and particles also will just call texture atlas get vertices. Probably, yes. Okay, so it was just that one. Okay, so I believe I have fixed the bug. I'm gonna make Wait a while because Windows is slow. Every other platform I work on is much faster than this for some reason. Maybe someday I'll figure out why. It's not that slow. It's better than it was. I have some hunches, but it's just not a priority to work on because I only do work on this game on Windows when I'm recording one of these, pretty much, or when I'm ramping up to record one. Okay, so you gonna work now? I suspect so. POW looks correct. POW has the black line in it. There we go. Okay, I did it. I fixed a bug. That's satisfying. All right, good stuff. So yeah, that was only that visual effect, and only when it plays during the battle. Okay, great. So cool. So where was I? So that was all just to demonstrate that I can import an image and use it, pretty much. And I still have the non-premultiplied. You know what? Want to fix that bug too? That's a quick one. Check it out. Which source file is this in? I think it's actually editor screen.c. One of the largest source files in my project. How many lines is this? 6,700. All right. So this is going to be ping image IO load ping file. Sure, that works. So texture packer. So let me talk a little bit about what's actually going on at runtime here. So yeah, anyway, so these, when I import an image, there's an additional one of these texture atlases that gets created at runtime, and just would have the one image that I had just imported in it. If I imported a second image, it would just have that one in it. When I go to save the scenario, those two get merged. Basically what I did was I moved the code for my standalone texture packer utility, which takes the lists of image files, the list of image files that I have in here. Why do you have this view? What are you doing? Details. Atlas data. Yeah, so I just have a big directory full of image files here. So somewhere in here is swish/diagonal. So like here it's, oh well, you can't see it, but it's there. Okay, I'm picking all the worst images for this. All of my images are tiny because this game is very low resolution. But anyway, there was that dirt again. Here we go. Anyway, so yeah, these are, there's a whole pipeline here. So they start as individual images, then get packed into this atlas, which used to be just code in a standalone utility. Then at runtime, they may get sliced up again and repacked. So the code that was used in my standalone utility now exists in a library that Foresight Fight links and can use at runtime in order to repack the atlas, which is normally a slow process, but I'm doing some tricks to make it not too slow, so that it can just be done at runtime. So yeah, I get a second atlas. One of the tricks I pull is using the second atlas. So when I imported this first, it was in an atlas all by itself, because mutating that atlas is kind of slow when there's a bunch of items. Then when I went to save, it merged the two so that they were together. All right, so I'm going to fix the premultiplication by doing what? Okay, so you are working with add all entries from atlas. What image do you use? Edited scenario atlas image. That's fine. I think I just, when I ping image.io load ping file, all I want to do is call bitmap image. Oh, well, make sure that an image isn't null first. Sure, make sure it actually loaded as an image. Bitmap image premultiply image, because I have that function already written just for that, and there's going to be one more place where this happens, I believe. So when you just do an import, yeah, okay, so you're either importing to add it to the list or importing to replace. Okay, so I'm fixing it for replace. So I'm going to close this, make, and we'll be able to see the difference. So yeah, here in my image editor, like this has the alpha. I can see the transparent pixels there. So the file is fine, but the way I handled it was not. All right, here we go. So in here, scenario info, custom graphics, swish/diagonal vandalized, replace with swish/diagonal vandalized. It disappears because I have something going wrong. I'm not actually sure what, but if I save, it'd be more satisfying if I could see it right there. But yeah, we can see that fixed the alpha. Great. Okay, good. I fixed 2 bugs. Okay, cool. So yeah, anyway, and if I want to, I can export all of the images. I would choose a directory, and it would just dump every single one of these files individually out to that directory. Let's try this. Now the file dialog I used for this is like super jank. Windows has a lot of different APIs for showing file dialogues. They're not all good. The one I'm using here was easy enough to write for, but it's very strange. I'm going to make new folder on the desktop here. Yeah, new folder is fine. Just right here. Sure. So like this folder, I believe they exported. Yeah, okay. So this folder is now full of images. Are they good images? Yeah, they look right to me at a glance. Sure. Okay. I'm going to use that feature again soon. I'm going to just delete all these. I don't need them. I might need some of them. You know what? Let's leave those there. I have my reasons. You'll see shortly. Okay, yeah, so I can export all. I can also export individually if I want to do that instead. So just export the giant only on the desktop, portrait giant. We'll be able to see in the thumbnail. That's Windows taking a moment to update itself, not Foresight Fight taking a while to export. The export happens instantly. Export all, maybe not quite as instantly because it's a bunch of files. I'm not sure how long that takes. I've never measured the time before. This was the first time. Anyway, so I have a bunch of images dumped out. So what I wanted today's main activity to be, there was another whole thing I wanted to talk about. I'll cover it quickly. No, I won't. You know what? Technical details that actually no one will see except me, so I'm not going to share them right now. Got too much else going on in this video. Very, very, very short version. Instead of the scenarios being made of multiple files, like test scenario atlas.ping, test scenario.atlas, test scenario.scenario, the JSON file there. Okay, yeah, that's the new one. So this is binary. They are now packed into a single file, which itself has its own little file system inside. Where's test scenario.json? Oh, there's no extra processing on it, so it doesn't ever enter the build directory, except in the form of this scenario. Yeah, and I have a little utility here somewhere that can unpack those files and repack them if I need to look inside one of these. But anyway, don't worry about it too much. It's just technical details of how this is done. But it was important to have a single file package format for scenarios because, you know, you're going to want to be able to download these things from the internet, for example, and bundling together a ping file, a JSON file, another JSON file for the Atlas, and eventually OGG files for the sounds was very important. So custom sounds right now just does nothing. I can click it, but it just says no. There's nothing there yet. This will be much, much simpler to implement than custom graphics because I don't have to do the whole, like, oh, by the way, I can type in here if I want to do the, oh, geez. Okay, well, yeah, sure. It resizes the window a whole lot. I might do something to make this more stable, but the functionality's there. It's mostly good. Anyway, so having dumped those out, I'm going to create a whole new scenario now. This is the main activity of the day. This is going to be showcase scenario rebuilt. I've been threatening to do this for quite a while. What we're going to do is from an absolutely blank scenario, build everything that is in the showcase scenario using only the editor and not exiting out to edit JSON in a text editor or, call my texture packer utility to edit the whatever. So So where do I start? This is my first real usage of the editor now that it's full-featured. I think it's full-featured. There might be problems. We're going to discover them. So my pseudo to-do list here says scenario has no champions. That's a great place to start. I'm going to, just for reference, make an editable copy of this. I'll need to be very careful which one of these I'm looking at. So yeah, I could read the JSON file and input stuff like this, but this is what I'm going to do. So we got a protector and an archer. Okay, let's start there. So showcase scenario rebuilt, edit. Yeah, I still need to replace this UI. I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. I don't like it. I know it needs to change, but it hasn't yet. Okay, so protector and archer. Do I have those icons available? I don't know yet. So protector, archer. All right, so those are the two champion types. They don't come with icons assigned, so let's assign some. Protector got a shield. I do not have the shield in here. I would draw new graphics for these, but this is already running extremely long. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to have to do custom graphics, import. Oh shoot, do I need to fix this invisible image bug? Okay, what do you suppose this is called? It's like icon shield or something. Is there an icon shield? Icon shield, there is. Okay, this one showed up. Okay, cool. So icon shield is there. And I know the archer used icon range, which is part of the base scenario atlas. I don't need a custom graphic for that. So we got icon shield here. Champions, protector, icon equals icon shield, no matching images. Okay, I think I know why that is. All right, yeah, so some bugs around searching images, like merging the two atlases together so that it sees both of them. Icon shield, there it is now. So I'll just have to save the scenario a bit more in between. It's fine. That's workable for today. It'll need to be fixed, but it's workable for today. And the graphic is the same thing, so I delete the whole filter. You're not supposed to use an icon for this. I'm doing something wrong. You're supposed to have a portrait in here. So even if the filter doesn't include the currently selected icon, I should totally show it in here. Anyway, that's fine though. So Archer, you got the range icon. Icon range. Ooh, what is that? What did I just see? I saw some, like, visual garbage going on. That's a little concerning. I wonder why. Man, this search field is, like, super handy for this. I'm glad I implemented that. Didn't take as much work as it probably looked like it did. All right, so we got that going. Champions are defined but not used, but let me just see back here in my reference copy. So right, they have stats. What are these stats? Stats are vitality, attack, and defense. Okay, your icon is icon vitality. That is not, that's a custom one. Okay, so what I should do, I mean, what makes the most sense here is just export all of these. So we're going to go to desktop, new folder. This one is called Showcase Graphics. Sure. Showcase Graphics, choose. That still said new folder 2 there. Did it do that correctly? Showcase Graphics. It did. That's just the Windows UI not updating. All right. Not my problem. That's somebody else's problem. Okay, so we're going to go to Showcase Scenario Rebuilt. And I'm going to have to import these one by one. I don't have an import all. I just have export all. That's fine, I guess. So Showcase Graphics, you're going to need... Actually, is this a multi-file select? It's not. This should be a multi-select. Okay, I'll change that. But for now, boy, these are tiny. Sorry if you can't see them. I barely can. Why do you have your own icon range? Huh. That's part of the core icon library, but this brings its own. Well, that's going to be a difference then between this showcase and the non-rebuilt one. Why did this happen? That shouldn't be. Oh my, your icon got... What? That's not icon shield. Ooh. We got something weird going on here. Yeah, my icon shield got overwritten. No, it didn't. It's drawing the wrong thing again, isn't it? Alright, this keeps happening. Yeah, so got some bugs here. Yeah, like, this is a taste of what debugging looked like for the last couple of weeks. It's all this kind of stuff. Why is that drawing wrong? I can see that this is 1 pixel offset. I don't think icon shield is actually gone. It's just that its coordinates were not modified. But they should have been. Well, okay, let's replace this with a shield. Icon shield. Now, will that work? Icon shield, icon vitality, save changes. Champion protector. There we go. There's the shield. And now this is messed up. How strange. Alright, what if I import them all at once? So we're going to delete everything, save changes. Yeah, so this is just my thing not being workable. Alright, import that, import this. This looks bad. It's like the last one... I don't know what it's like. It's weird. Maybe I can't do this right now. Okay, yeah, that resized it because I imported a larger thing. Yeah, like this one's messed up. That's icon attack. What if I import icon attack again? Icon attack 1. You know what? I'm okay with this. Alright, this will do for now. Okay, and that fixed itself. Oof, this is janky. It's buggy is all it is. Anyway, I think I have all my icons now. This will at least look right, even if the names are a little different. Okay, great. So I have everything. All right, so stats. Let's add vitality. I already forgot what they were. Now, if I try to edit this, it's going to ask me to save that because I'm changing my scenario. That's fine. What on earth are you doing? Oh, you are super confused. This shouldn't be here. I got a file dialog from that? Why? Okay, baffling bugs going on here. This was very much in need of this testing. You know what? This is fun. Vitality, attack, defense. And the stats consist of literally nothing other than a name and an icon. So vitality, attack, defense. Heart, fist, shield. Okay. This is fine. Vitality, attack, defense. I don't love taking my hand off the gamepad to type those names, but I certainly like it a lot more than trying to input text to the gamepad. Alright, so vitality gets that. Attack gets something. There's a fist somewhere. Fist. Fish, not fish. Fist. Alright, and defense is shield. Alright, that works. Okay, so stats are created. Stat vitality, defined but not used. Attack, defined but not used. Yes, that makes sense. Champions always automatically get stats, but I have to actually put them in a formula for them to mean anything. Okay, so what are the stats? So in showcase scenario copy, you have... So Protector has 1011. Archer has 720, right? 1011, 720. Here's 10. I can do this with the gamepad. 1, 1. Archer is 7. It's a little noisy, but that's fine. 2, 0. Okay, great. So those stats are still not used. I need to add resources. Scenario has no encounters. That's fine, though. I should definitely warn about no resources. So that's like a missing top-level warning. Anyway, but I know to do it myself. So resource types. I got health and energy. Just like stats, no, these have lots of things. All right, health, default to full, is vital, spend below 0. Capacity formula is add to result actor's vitality stat. Change formula doesn't exist. Color is red, deplete color is darker red, restore color is greenish, no sounds, etc. Weird as it sounds, I think I can remember all that. Okay. Energy is green. Deplete color, restore color, those are the same. Not vital, restore. Okay, so just health and energy. Energy is always 5. And change formula, +1. If actor has energized property, add 2. There's an energized property, so I have to add that first. Icon energy gain. Okay, great. Got it, I think. So we're going to go to this, built from scratch. Let's start here, energized. Here's a property. Icon is energized. Sure, there it is. Icon energy gain. Resource types, health. And energy. So you get icon equals heart. Okay, yeah, there's that, like, garbage on the screen. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. It's when I change the filter, like for a moment I'm getting some garbage vertex data. Why though? Why would it do it and then stop doing it? Like that's the part that confuses me. I shouldn't be redrawing twice. It should just do the one redraw when the character is inserted. And like if there's garbage on screen, it should stay on screen. Anyway, spend below 0. This should maybe be a little pop-up menu instead of... Yes, it definitely should be a pop-up menu instead of changing when I click it, just for consistency with everything else. Because like it's easy to accidentally click this and make a change and be like, wait, what was it at? Was it below 0? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I'll change these 3 to pop-up menus. That makes more sense. Capacity formula, add or assign, either way is exactly the same. I'm going to add. Okay, so this is operand type is actor stat is vitality. Done. Change formula doesn't exist. Color is red. Deplete color is a slightly darker red. Restore color is a slightly darker green. There we go. Okay, that's health done. Energy. These colors are approximate. I could get the exact hex values out of that, but that's not the point of this exercise. Star, not with a Y. No, my star icon is called icon energy. Yes, okay. Default to full, I think that's right, is not vital, correct? Oh, interesting. I have this defaulting the first resource I create to vital and all subsequent ones to non-vital, I guess. Well, that's smart. I agree with that. And this now spends to 0. No, that's what this defaulted to, too. Yes. Spend to 0. Capacity formula equals assign constant 5. Great. Change formula equals add 1 if LHS operand type is actor has property. Property is energized. It defaults to that because that's the only property in the scenario. Is equal to constant 1. That's just the true value. I press the cancel button. Then add 2, I believe? Was it 2? I think it was 2. False formula is nothing. Okay, I'm going to save this because this was some work done. Hold on. I'll first assign the color. So you are green. That's this thing. Right, that's white. That's green. There we go. That's a slightly different green, but don't worry about it. Darker red, darker green. Okay. And this is all fine. All right, so save. What was I going to check? Was energized to energy? Or was it something else? Change formula. If energy property equals 1, add to result 2. Great. Okay, cool. So those are the resources. I don't need to do anything more with resources right now, right? By the way, yeah, so these are the warnings this one gets. Okay, so I think I reached the end of my what I was doing there. So in rebuilt, we have the champions. They need abilities. That's the next thing up. Okay. So yeah, you have stats. The stats do stuff. You have resources. No, you don't. You need resources. Okay, so you have health. You have energy. So do you. 0 out of 5. That shouldn't print like this. Or should it? No, it shouldn't. Okay, so I just have that printing numbers that don't make any sense, and it should not. Okay, there are no equipment slots. There are abilities, though. All right, so let's go back to the other one. Okay, get our champions finished up. So they got 2 abilities. Oh, by the way, I think these numbers are new. So everywhere that it makes sense to show a count, like if a list item is going to pop up a menu that is a list of things, then I show the number of things that will be in that list in the right column in the thing that pops it up. That helps a lot to know at a glance what's going on. So you have 2 abilities, attack and fortify. You have shoot and volley. All right, so I'm going to have to create 4 abilities here. This is going to be a bit of work. It's fine, but it is going to be a bit of work. Okay, attack. Uses icon attack, has sword swing. All sounds are built in. There aren't custom ones now, so I don't get to worry about those. Visual effect is shine. Oh shoot, visual effects. Gonna have to rebuild those myself. Okay, well, this is a test of the scenario editor. Maybe I'll forego the visual effects for now. Maybe I won't. That costs 1 energy. Okay, so this is like a working memory test now. Range is 1. Spell effect does all those things. Change resource. Sound is hit. Visual effect is slash. Why are these up here? These should be down below. Well, it's complicated. But yeah, resource health should be right next to type. Element should be right next to resource. Amount formula should be after element. Yeah, so sound and visual should be at the bottom. Okay, I know why I made that decision, and I'm telling myself I made the wrong decision. Oh boy. You know what? Maybe I should make this a multi-part, but no, the game's going to change between now and then. I think I have to do this all now. All right, we're doing it. So let's add the abilities with the names and icons first. Make this menu look right in the other one. Attack, fortify, shoot, volley. Shoot uses the same icon as attack for some reason, just because I didn't want to draw another one. So attack, fortify, shoot, volley. Okay, what are these default to? Effect equals change resource, formula equals nothing. Okay, great. So attack, icon, attack, sure. Sound is, it's like slash or something. Sword swing, that's it. All right, visual effect, don't have any in the scenario yet. Resource costs, yes. Energy, 1. Okay. Valid targets, self, yes. Friend, yes. Enemy, yes. Both sides, no. Single, yes. Okay, that all makes sense. Range equals 1. You know what? I can probably fill this out. Change resource. I don't remember how the attack works. I'll have to look up the formula. All right, so fortify got probably a shield, I would guess. The icon I used for everything in this scenario. Sound equals, I don't know. I'll check. I don't know. I'm just assigning icons. So shoot got this target-looking thing. And volley got... No, shoot got the attack. Volley got the target-looking thing. I don't know if I like that decision, but I don't have anything that looks like an action of shooting right now. I guess I could use the... Yeah, I do. Let's make it icon range. All right, I'm making a change. Just doing with what I have. It'd be better the other way around, but who cares? It's fine. Whatever. All right, so... Oops, Right, so here's this weird file dialog that comes up, and I don't understand why. I'll have to look into that. I have a suspicion. You know what? Okay, so edit. So after edit, it goes to... I'm going to take a peek because I'm curious. This will be an editor screen. No, it won't. It'll be in scenario screen. You're kind of just watching me work on the game now. But you know what? That's kind of what this devlog is about. It's fine. Edit scenario. Remove all pop-up subviews. Select scenario, start transition editor. That would make sense. Is that not what you do? How are you getting a file dialog in there? Well, let's look for all the instances of shell open file dialog. That is an open file dialog, right? So it's definitely not this one. There's no way I'm calling import scenario, right? Well, here. Okay, so what all file dialogs do I have? Save file dialog on export. I was wondering if I had a missing break in a case statement and it was falling through and trying to do like this somewhere. Is import scenario getting invoked somehow? I could actually believe it. I know how that would work. Yeah, I think I know exactly what I did. So what happens on the scenario screen is if there are unsaved changes for several different actions, I need to delay like doing a callback action, and I call this show save changes dialog with a continuation function pointer here. Otherwise, I just call the function directly. I'll bet I have a copy paste error where I copied this with import scenario. I'm actually calling edit scenario in the other case of the if the scenario is not dirty. But I have a copy-paste error for import scenario getting called after the file dialog instead of edit, right? That's exactly what it is. Okay. Cool. Well, I might run into this again, so let's go ahead and... I did just save. So that was a harmless bug. It didn't, like, lose me data or anything. It just confused me a bit. So we're going to make... And I guess to test this, I will have to make a modification, go back to the scenario screen, try to select a different scenario, save it, and see that it does not pop up a file dialog. That's no problem. Let me continue my work, and it'll just sort of happen naturally as a result of that. These all reordered themselves, and I don't like that. Because when I add them first, it's in the order that I add them. When I reload the game, it's in the order that the file system lists the files, which may be different from the order I added them. I don't know what to do about this. Like, I don't like the idea of... I guess I should alphabetize. Yes, I know exactly what to do about it. I should alphabetize this list so that it will be the same both ways. It doesn't matter which order it's sorted in. Okay, alphabetic list. Got it. That's what I do. So probably like one alphabetic list for these built-in ones, then a second one for the editable ones. All right? I made a decision. What am I doing? It's hard to keep focus for this long. You'd think I'd have practice, and I do. But it's still hard. Okay, so sound equals hit. Visual effect, not worrying about that right now, but I should if I'm doing the complete thing. All right, fine. Visual effects. So we got slash here. That's a swish with the slash atlas entry. Okay, but it's just slash. That doesn't exist. Oh, never mind. Let's not import that because that refers to something that doesn't exist. Huh. Right. Don't worry about it then. Let's not do visual effects. That's easier on me today. And if they're not going to work anyway, then yeah, I'm doing the equivalent by not putting them in. Okay, so no visual effect. Resource equals health, element equals physical, amount equals 2. Okay, so attack just does 2. All right, I can handle that. So we're going to go to rebuild. Attack. This exact process is not something I would ever do. I would not follow another scenario in the editor as a reference for this, mostly. I would be following a different reference or just doing things from scratch here if I were actually doing this. Oh, I don't have any elements. I do need one for defense to work. Okay, but that's fine. I'll reassign that. Okay, so this is assign to. Okay, so let's do the element then. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to back out of this, edit that, save, And there we go. No file dialog. It just goes in here. Perfect. I fixed the bug. That's 3 today. Well, that's 3 this video. Way more than 3 today. All right, so that was attack. No, I need the element. That's equipment, the other E word. Element, physical. It's just one. Physical, physical, icon sword, damage adjustment. If result is less than 0, add to result, defense, target, stat, defense. Clamp to max 0. Okay. Element types. The cursor stayed. Nice. Physical. So that's icon sword. Damage adjustment formula is if result. Ooh. I guess that's okay. It's a little confusing. Maybe this row should just disappear if it's nothing. Probably should. Is less than 0. Then add, it was target stat of defense. Oh geez, windows are just shifting around all over the place, but it's all doing the right thing. It's just a little shaky. And clamp to maximum of 0, minimum of nothing. Yes, okay, that's a little bit of a weird way to do that. That's how I do an open range. I have to go in here and press the default button. Yeah, that's a bit unintuitive. I should rename the default button in there to no minimum or no maximum when it's here. Okay, so custom string there for this pop-up. Writing a video game is a lot of work. Did you know that? After watching this, you will. You probably already did. And I'm showing only like, 0.02% of the actual programming work that goes into it. Yeah, you mostly just see the result here. Anyway, so yeah, attack is of the physical element. All right, great. Cool. What does fortify do? Fortify has a cost. Everything does. This costs 4 energy. Okay, so fortify costs 4 energy. Can only target self-friend single, so no enemy. Self-friend single, range 1, costs 4 energy, applies a status effect of fortified, expires with damage count? After 2 damages, power equals 2. Status effect is... Why is this twice? Ooh, something's wrong here. This should be element. This is just like printing the entirely wrong description for this row. Whoa, that's a bug I didn't expect, but okay. That's an easy one to fix. Okay. You know what? I think I've gone as deep into this as I'm willing to go today. This was some very good information. This took a bit longer than I expected. I'm going to fix some of these many bugs that I found here, and we'll continue from exactly here next time. Yeah, so my scenario is saved. Hopefully I won't make any radical file format changes that'll mean I can't load that, but if I do, I'll do some wizardry to make it possible to do that. Okay, yeah, this is a very good exercise. I shouldn't have expected to get it all done today because this is a much larger process than I thought it would be. But yeah, that was also useful to learn. Neat. Okay, this is good. This is very good. I'm happy with what's going on here. We'll continue next time with more of this process after some of these bugs are fixed. And maybe I'll also have some other exciting stuff done. Won't that be nice? Yeah, I was going to talk about future plans here. I guess I can. But I think I won't. We'll just see what happens. Yeah, all right. That's enough for today. I'll see you next time to continue this process and see where it goes.